Щедрівочка прилетіла, ластівочка стала собі щедрим, сон з поларя викликати щедрим, постарає подивися, докажи, тому печки покути писає, печки народи, тебе товар без хороший, будеш мати сміху гроші, тебе товар без хороший, будеш мати сміху гроші, очі, голова, чорнова, очі.
Hello and welcome to the December issue of Crimea Torch Song, the video version. I'm Piers Ford and we've just been listening to Katie Melua singing The Little Swallow from her new album, In Winter. It might seem a little bit strange to call somebody's seventh studio album a coming-of-age record, but actually that's just what this is. It really marks Katie Melua's transition from a singer who's probably best known for her slightly quirky, sentimental ballads to a singer-songwriter of real substance. She says she wanted to produce an album that kind of takes us away from the typical Jingle Bells fare that tends to dominate the airwaves at this time of year. And she's really and truly done that. There's a sense that as a writer, a songwriter, she's making a mature, contemplative statement about the whole season of winter. And that's also due in no small part to the way the album is built around the presence of the gory women's choir and the polyphonic sound that they bring to the music. There's a considered mix of Melua's own songs, but with a kind of dash of some seasonal numbers, and a really beautiful version of Joni Mitchell's River. It's all gently provocative. It's urging you as the listener to draw closer around the fire and pull thoughts and stories from the music and spin them really into your own ideas and block out the encroaching cold. There are some discreet festive flourishes, and those offer real moments of choral beauty, but I have to say, for me, the standout tracks are the ones where Melua really explores her own melodies and lyrics as well. There's a nice songwriting collaboration with Don Black, and the wistful narrative of Dreams on Fire is really one of the high points of the album. And the other is a touching reminiscence really of Katie Melua's memories of playing with her brother on the rusty old Soviet plains of their childhood in Georgia. And the Plain song is inspired by that memory. So here's a brief snippet of that.
The seats were all dusty, the side doors were open, those aeroplanes were left there years ago. Granddad had spoken of forests in Russia. I pictured him walking in 10 inches of snow.
Well, from the vast wastelands of post-Soviet Georgia to a quintessential English sound, the voice and the songs of Ange Hardy, this time in collaboration with Lukas Drinkwater, and together they've come up with a new album called Findings. And this seems to follow hot on the heels of Ange's previous two albums, Barefoot Folk and The Lament of the Black Sheep. And for me, the extraordinary thing is the way she's able to sustain the sheer quality of her songwriting. And that's really what marks her out as one of the most exciting voices today on the on the really vibrant British folk scene. She's got this gift for crafting songs that sound as if they've sprung fully formed from an ancient English oak. They've got that sense of tradition. They sound completely authentic. And yet suddenly you're struck by the contemporary resonance of the references, because a lot of these songs are inspired by some of the profoundly serious things that are happening in the world today, as well as by more personal references to memory and loss and changing relationships. One of the songs, which is "The Trees They Do Grow Here," is one of the handful of traditional folk songs that Ange and Lukas have included on the record. It really is beautifully produced. There's a kind of spareness and space around the arrangements, and all the musicianship is exemplary.
Trees, they do grow high, leaves, they do grow green. Many's the cold winter's night my love and I have seen. Of a cold winter's night, my love, you and I alone have been. While my bonny, bonny boy, he is growing.
That more traditional number is beautifully counterpointed by Ange's and Lukas's more contemporary tracks, their own songs, such as "The Widow," which is just this beautiful distillation of memory and loss. And "True Are the Mothers," which Ange says she wrote for Nancy Kerr and Catherine Roberts, who actually contribute vocals to the song as well. So these are epic themes which are just, as I say, distilled into little jeweled stories that are told with eloquent simplicity.
Fertile soil through heart to the roots of birth. All of my little ones call on my care to feed from the fruits of the earth. Feed from the fruits of the earth.
Well, that was a little snippet from "True Are the Mothers" from Ange Hardy and Lukas Drinkwater's new album, Findings. And from an English folk scene, a rich English folk scene, let's take a change of pace, move across the water to the somewhat louder, maybe some would say brasher world of the American popular song, and specifically the all-American sound of Gershwin, the music which is the lifeblood of Broadway and indeed Hollywood. I'd like to talk a little bit about a record from Joan Ellison called Retrophonic Gershwin. And Joan Ellison specialises in singing the American popular songbook, but I think with a slight difference to the kind of conventional approach to it. She's made a point of returning to transcriptions of the original recordings, constructing and arranging the scores based on those, and overlaying them with her own very contemporary interpretations. So it's a really interesting take on the subject, and I think it could perhaps mark her down as an archivist, but she's an archivist who doesn't just blow off the dust. She actually gets inside the material, the raw material, and brings it back to life. there are certainly some ghosts that haunt this lovely album, which is based on her collaboration with Mark Flanders for a concert that they put together called Gershwin on Air, and it features two grand pianos. But the ghosts that haunt this are the ghosts of the great torch singers of yore. So Gertrude Lawrence is very much there, although I have to say that Joan Ellison sings impeccably in tune, and of course the great Helen Morgan. Also, there's a sense of the presence of Judy Garland, who I know is a particular favourite of Joan Ellison's, and very much influences her delivery. There's nothing particularly seasonal here, but I think that with Judy Garland we immediately think of The Wizard of Oz, and for me, Meet Me in St. Louis, and so that's good enough to make it a slightly seasonal reference for me. If we think about some of the great torch songs of the 20s and 30s, there's nothing that evokes that period better than The Man I Love, and so I'd like to close this edition by listening to a bit of Joan Ellison singing that fantastic, one of the greatest of all torch songs. And next issue we'll be looking at the latest releases from Barb Younger, from Arnis Obel, and looking also at a really interesting release from Sarah Moule. So look forward to seeing you then, and in the meantime do get in touch, let me know what you think, and send me any ideas for albums that you think I should be reviewing in the future.
Someday he'll come along, the man I love, and he'll be big and strong, the man I love. And when he comes my way, I'll do my best to make him